I'm going to talk about a few things in this video. Mainly it's going to be depression, self-esteem, maybe some hate. For me, depression's been part of me for a long time, since I was young, but I've just started looking back on my life to see the progression of the depression and where it's at now and how it came to be how it is. But you know, when you have to deal with social anxiety disorder, you tend to get depressed because no matter how many times you try to do something, it involves another person, or it involves people, or it involves socializing in some way or form or something, it fails. It fails miserably. And it fails over and over and over again every time you attempt to do something. Every time you attempt to communicate with somebody, it fails. And so pretty soon you're worthless. Pretty soon life sucks. Pretty soon there's no point in anything. There's no purpose in anything. Why should you strive to do anything if everything you try to do ends up a failure? Except maybe if you take people out of there, well, then I might be able to succeed at something. But that's impossible. So, many years ago, I developed depression, and it just got worse, because if you were to ask me how I'm feeling, how's it going, I would reply with, everything is fine, I'm doing okay, life is great. But on the inside, I'm thinking, life is as bad as it gets. This is awful. I hate feeling this way. I can't do anything about it. I'm incompetent. I'm a loser. Somebody who can't do anything right. Everything I do fails. So it seems. And I've been thinking that way for years and years and years. So long I can't remember when I started feeling that way. But it's there, and it's that way, but it's better now because I'm working on things. I'm addressing the depression, and I'm not just letting it go wherever it chooses. And it served its purpose. It got to the point that it forced me to talk about how I felt. So after I was able to do that, well, then I felt that the depression served its purpose, so it's time to get rid of it. I'm on antidepressants. I've been on them for a couple of months. Ever since the 2nd of May. 2017, this year. So I've been on 2 different antidepressants. The first one was a generic form of Paxil. Now it's prescribed to me because of the social anxiety disorder. After about 4 or 5 weeks on that, I decided, no, I don't want to use drugs to deal with the social anxiety disorder. I want to do it some other way. So I switched antidepressants. My memory wasn't getting any better on the Paxil, so I was recommended a generic form of Cymbalta. So far, I'm at a therapeutic dose of Cymbalta, and up to this point, my memory has greatly improved compared to what it was 3 weeks ago. So I've been depressed most of my adult life, if not all of my adult life. It's like a bottomless pit. It's there and you can't get out of it. You don't know how, you don't know, especially when you can't talk to anybody, you can't express how you feel, you feel you'll betray yourself if you do that, so you have to keep it inside, all of it. I felt the depression many times throughout my life. I've stopped and thought about it several times throughout my life. But I've never thought, well, should I feel this way? Should I feel happier? Should I feel different? Should I improve on that? Should I do something else? No, because I had social anxiety disorder in the front of everything I was doing, and that kept me quiet. It kept me from speaking, from expressing myself as far as how I felt. So the depression just kept going and going and building, and concentration was little bits of issues growing up, I guess, or my adult life. Not so much, but gradually over time, abilities that I've had have dwindled away to uselessness. So I used to love to sew and be able to sew all kinds of garments and jackets and sleeping bags and tents and just anything and everything I can sew that I wanted to. There came to a point my concentration issues were just to the point that I was in the middle of a project and I couldn't do it anymore. Couldn't sew it anymore, so I had to stop. Things like that throughout my life have kind of dropped out because I'll be okay at something and then concentration becomes an issue. I feel at this point I can sew again, so I've been kind of practicing that a little bit, and it seems okay. I can work the machine, I don't have to think about it, it's there, which is good. In 2012, physical symptoms became a real issue for the depression. I didn't sleep, I didn't eat, I didn't do anything. I couldn't remember anything. My memory was bad. Multitasking was non-existent. I couldn't do more than one thing at a time. It was everything was conscious to me, so I thought about everything I did. Every action, everything I did, all day long I thought about. And it would take me forever to get something done, because I had to think through it every time I did it. It was just right in the front every time. Nothing was automatic. It was always a process, a thought process that I had to go through to get something done. Physical symptoms returned in 2016, and I ended up in the same situation, and ended up going and staying depressed for several weeks, and eventually talking about the social anxiety disorder, and about how I felt all my life, and about how I have this issue with pathological lying and things that I could just not bring myself to say because of embarrassment and shame. But again, knowing now that I have this disorder has changed everything, because now I just have the need to talk about it, and to talk about how I feel, and to talk about what's bothered me my whole life, and that kind of stuff. And so anyways, depression for me, I'll elaborate on that on more videos, but so it's been with me for a long time. Self-esteem has been non-existent, so low for me for so many years. I just don't care about anything. I don't care about how I feel, how I take care of myself, how I just don't care about myself. A lot of self-hate. That leads back to some of the depression, and I can't go by looking in a mirror without looking into it and saying awful things about myself. How stupid I am. I hate you. You stupid person. You can't talk to anybody. You can't do anything. Why can't you just do it? Why do you have to feel so awful when you get near people? You are an idiot. You're so stupid. Everybody else can do it. Why can't you? I hate you. You're pathetic. You're the biggest loser that's ever been born. You are the definition of loser. And if people understood how you felt, your entire reality, your entire life would just crumble and be no more. I couldn't get near a mirror without thinking like that. Every day, several times a day, every mirror, every reflection I had, every time I saw somebody communicating with other people, every time I saw people socializing, I thought to myself, you stupid idiot, you loser, you piece of shit, you nothing. I hate you, you're stupid. So I never took care of myself. I never cared about anything. I developed hate for everybody. I hated everything everybody did, everybody does. I hate it all because I can't do any of that. I can't have what other people have. I can't have success. I can't have a career. I can't have a friend. I can't have healthy relationships. Well, friendships. So I hate you. And I hate you because you're that way. Because I am hopeless. I had good days and weeks without showering or bathing, I would just throw on a bunch of deodorant, call it good. I didn't want to take the time. It was time consuming to get in there and take a shower. It was a task. I was depressed. Everything was a task, so I had to pick and choose what I really wanted to get done. And taking a shower was not part of it. I was not in the habit of doing that. And this low self-esteem made it possible to not even care about that, which further drove my self-esteem down to the ground. But when you're caught in it, you don't realize it. You don't realize that these things that you're doing, these avoiding everything, you're making the situation worse. So yeah, low self-esteem. 16, 17 probably. Years old. Just kept getting lower and lower and lower and lower and lower. Recently, the last couple of months, I'm taking care of myself. I'm showering every day, sometimes twice a day depending on my activities. I'm brushing my teeth, taking care of them 2-3 times a day, flossing every day, taking care of myself, not biting my nails, using clippers and a file on them, just it is very good for the self-esteem, because I can just feel that I'm taking care of myself. I can feel that I'm doing okay in that regard. And it's become a habit. So I enjoy it. I feel like doing that. That is raising my self-esteem, which is a good thing. Hate. I've hated everybody for anything and everything for a long time, all my life. I mentioned that I hate everybody for being successful because they got everything I can never ever have. So I see what I can't have, and I hate it all. Like it's their fault because they can just do it so easily. No matter how hard I work at it, no matter how hard I struggle, I get nothing in return. I get nothing. And that's the way it's been my whole life. That's the way I've felt my whole life. That's the way I've thought my whole life. There hasn't been a day I don't think about that. There hasn't been a day in 25 years, 20 years, I don't know how many years, that I haven't stopped in a mirror just to tell myself how awful life is and how stupid I am and how this is all my fault, and I'm pathetic. Over and over and over again. Every chance I get, I tell myself these things over and over. I believe them. I mean, just look at everybody else. I'm not like that. I can't be like that because there was something wrong. So that just confirms that I'm a loser, that I'm pathetic, that I'm worthless, because that's all those things, and that's what I am. I think I'm gonna be finished here. So that's, but I'm working on that. Taking care of myself right now. It's given me a great boost in my self-esteem. I feel good, which is good. liking myself. I'm starting to become a friend with myself, to see myself in a different light, to understand myself in different ways I haven't before. And it's all because of being aware of what the problem is. So, anyways, I'll be talking more about stuff like depression and stuff like that, social anxiety disorder, exposure on it, anything. Alright. But yeah, really I wanted to talk about depression and to let everybody know that, yeah, I've been depressed for many years. Low self-esteem, many years. Self-hate. Hate of other people. Hate of everything and anything that has to do with people. Hate of even wanting to help somebody. Just so negative. And I believed every single word of it. Every thought that went through my mind. I believe it. And there are probably some that I still believe. But I'm working on it. Bye.